So we know the number of crossings between the optimal tour and our grid is at most square root of 2 times the length of the optimum. But we still have to figure out how that gives us a good approximation factor. And the interesting thing is that the proof works via randomization. Well, this is a bit unexpected because we have a deterministic algorithm, but we still use the randomization to prove our approximation factor. So we assume that the shifting, the A and B, is chosen independently and uniformly at random between 0 and L minus 1. Then the expected cost of an optimal well-behaved tour with respect to this shifting is at most 1 plus square root of 2 epsilon times opt. So this tells us if we just do any shift randomly, then the expected value is already 1 plus some function of epsilon times opt. So if the expected is at most this much, and we find the minimum of all of them, then of course it's also at most this much. So if we just compute for every A and B here the best well-behaved tour, then this gives us our approximation factor. But how do we prove this? So we have our optimal tour pi, and we make it well-behaved by moving all the intersection points with the grid to the nearest portal like here. How much does the cost increase for every of these movements? Well, the movement depends on the level of this line. If this portal is very far away, then we have to move the line by a lot. If it's not too far away, then not by so much. And the maximum increase we have here is the interportal distance. Because if we look at the segment we had in the beginning, if we move it down here, then it doesn't cost more than if I take the segment, then take a detour to the portal, take a detour back, and then go to the target. And if we move to the closer portal, that's at most portal distance over 2 away, we move there and back, so the movement here we have is the interportal distance. So the additional length this green tour now has is at most the interportal distance of this line. That means it is good to cross lines of a high level and bad to cross lines on a lower level. So we have to figure out how likely is it that a line that we cross has a low level. And for that, we consider a single intersection point between the tour and a line. And what is the probability that this line is of level I? Well, since this is random, we have no clue what it is, but we know how many lines of each level we have. What about level 0? There's exactly one vertical line of level 0, and there's exactly one horizontal line of level 0. But there are L lines in total, so the probability that the line that we cross is of level 0 is at most 1 over L. What about level 1? Well, there are 2 vertical and 2 horizontal lines, so the probability that we cross one of those is at most 2 over L. What about level 3? Well, now we have 4, so we have probability 4 over L. So for level I, we have probability 2 to the I over L that the line that we cross is of this level. How much do we increase the solution if we cross a line of level L? That's the interportal distance. And how much is the interportal distance at level I? Well, if you look back, we chose it to be L divided by 2 to the IM. And now everything comes together. Now all these numbers finally make sense. Because we have a probability of at most 2 to the I divided by L, that we increase it by L divided by 2 to the IM. So the expected increase of the length of the tour for this one intersection point is, for every level, the probability that the line is of this level multiplied with the maximum increase for this level. And then the 2 to the I and the L, they cancel out. So for every level, the probability that it happens multiplied by the increase is 1 over m. And we have k plus 1 levels in total if we also count level 0, so it increases by at most k plus 1 over m. And how did we choose the m? the m was in the interval between k over epsilon and 2k over epsilon. So this is at least k over epsilon, and that means that this in total is at most k plus 1 divided by k over epsilon, which is at most epsilon. So since we have at most the square root of 2 times optimum intersection points, for each of them we increase it by 2 times epsilon, the total increase is at most 2 square root of 2 times epsilon. So we get our theorem, we have at most 1 plus 2 square root of 2 epsilon times opt in the expected case. And that means there's a deterministic algorithm where we find a 1 plus epsilon approximation by just choosing our epsilon here a little bit smaller, input epsilon divided by 2 square root of 2, and then trying all AB shifted dissections. And by this theorem, one of them is good enough, and we get our result. This is probably my favorite approximation algorithm ever. I think it's genius how everything comes together, how you pick the numbers, how you do so much brute force, but in the end still everything works out to our p-test. And it is quite complicated, it takes a while to understand it, but I hope that I could give you at least the ideas of how everything works out. And if you read a bit more and think about it, I'm sure you will also see the genius behind all of this. Thank you for watching.